Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wingcat Sports, and it's Tiger Baseball Weekly Breakdown. Tigers had a good week. They ended up beating both the Athletics and the Twins in their series. Just a rough game, getting shut out by the Athletics earlier in the week, 3-0, and a rough start to the Twins series, losing 4-1 off of literally one bad home run with the Athletics from Flaherty. But overall, a good week. 4-2 is kind of what you want, which leads you to having a much bigger lead in the division with Cleveland losing 4 straight. You have now gone 11 and a half games up on Cleveland, 12 and a half on Minnesota, and 13 and a half on Kansas City. And we're not even going to talk about the White Sox because they're irrelevant to even that kind of conversation. But you've been doing good this week.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, 4-2, keep it going. There's not a team in our division over 500, so we got a big lead right at the
There's
moment.
not.
And if we can, I don't think anyone in our division is going to win 90 games. I think the division is ours to lose right at this point.
You're the first team to 50 wins. The last few times you did that, you made the World Series, so we'll see what ends up happening. But your team's been hot. Riley Green had a good week, got himself up to 19 home runs. He leads the team with a 296 batting average, and with RBIs with 63. But overall, the whole entire team has done well. You have 3 players that are probably going to potentially go over 30 home runs this year without their batting. We'll see if we get there, though, between Torkelson, Carpenter, and Green. Injury news, Carpenter did mess up his hamstring a little bit in the game yesterday, but we'll see what ends up happening. He is going under an MRI today, which is, yesterday when this video goes out.
That's a big injury.
But we are heading towards the All-Star break, so overall, not as concerned because he'll have his time to rest a little bit before we get moving. Looking ahead, before we dive into all the stats and roster and standing and all that. Who we're playing this week? We got the Nationals, who are currently 35 and 49. Not a good team. You should not win that series, if not sweep them. And then you're going to end the week in Cleveland. If you have a really good series, really good week, and somehow you sweep Cleveland, you're going to be pretty high up in the division, potentially 15 and a half games by the end of this week. And then if you can have a good week after that while Cleveland's still struggling, there's a chance by the time we get to the All-Star break, it could be 17 to 20 games up in the division.
Yeah, that's
it's a very long shot, but there's a chance. I was going to say,
hey, I'll be happy for 11 games off like we are right now.
You have quite the lead. I don't think the Tigers have much to worry about. If you could play 500 baseball the rest of the way, you're going to be in a perfect spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would like to be the best team in the American League to have the home field, but we play really well over here.
Roughly, let's say even if you win your next, I know it's not 30. There's like 86. I forget I don't know where we're at currently at this point in the season, but even at 70 games left, I know that's not exact, but let's say there's 70 games
back.
What
are we at?
With 70 games left, if you have 35 more wins, you'll be at 88.
53 and 32 is 85. So we have 70.
I said 70, 30, 35 more wins that you would have, you'd be at 88, and that's not even all of them. So you're roughly going to be over 90. You should be over 90 wins with how you're playing.
We got about 70.
But even if you go 500 the rest of the way, you were probably going to be over 90 wins. But again, you got a rough month, I would say, in a ways, because you're going to face a really good Tampa team right now. There's 47 and 37 currently. Seattle is 43 and 40. Luckily, you have those all at home. You're going to go to Texas, who's 41 and 43 right now, and then you're going to go to Pittsburgh, which kind of gives you a little bit of a bounce back series. They're 35 and 50. Blue Jays for 4 games. They're currently 45 and 38, fighting for the East. And then the Diamondbacks, who are currently 41 and 42, fighting for a wild card spot. So we'll see how the rest of this month goes. If you can end this month still about 11 and a half, between 11 and 20 games above a lead in the division, I think you'll be pretty good.
Yeah,
going into these last few months.
I think so too. But people have blown stuff like this before. Hopefully, it doesn't look like it though. I mean, we wondered at the beginning of the year, was it just a fluke the last part of last season? And they've shown it hasn't. They're the team that they were, and they're ahead. The Tigers have become a hell of a team in a very short time under Scott.
We'll see how the movement goes. They did send Trey Sweeney down this week because he's been struggling with Matt Vierling coming back up. Your next guy to watch out for, I would say, is Parker Meadows with his struggles. I don't think they'll send him down.
When's the trade?
But I don't know if he might be on the move or something. Trade deadline is the end of this month.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
July-
I think the Tigers are certainly going to try to do something in the way of
I'm
pitching.
pretty. Listen, I see the everyone saying, "Oh, we need to go get Alex Bregman." No, you do not. Do not even think about it. Stay away from that. Go get Paul Skeens if you're gonna throw a bunch of picks at somebody.
Yeah,
If you're gonna throw a bunch of prospects and picks, give it to
we need a
Pittsburgh
pitcher.
for
We need
Paul
a pitcher.
Skeens. I do not care
Wouldn't
because that's
that
what's
be
gonna
hell of
happen.
a- Man, can you imagine those two?
Yeah, it'd be
all
great.
you really need is two pitchers like that to do well in the playoffs.
It would be great. But going over a full standings overview before we fully finish everything up here. Again, we're 11 and a half games up in the division. When you're going to look at the league overall where the Tigers sit, they're still 2.5 games up on Houston. And then overall, they're tied with the Dodgers, but 2.5 games up again on Houston overall. So it is interesting. Houston, I thought, was going to be dropping off after their multi-year success, but they've come back out of nowhere. So we'll see what ends up happening. Within the next couple of weeks, maybe you're the first team to reach 60 wins. You've done 30, 40, and 50. Let's see if we can get to 60.
Yeah.
Overall, and then we were going to look at the wild card just because, again, why not? Tampa, Toronto, and Seattle are your wild card teams with a surprise Los Angeles Angels sitting 2 games back of a wild card spot out of nowhere. Maybe Mike Trout can finally see a playoff game after so many years of playing on the Angels.
Yeah.
He can finally see a playoff game.
Let's get Mike Trout.
He's old and washed.
Give up Hobby.
But last thing to talk about, because I didn't talk about yet, is all-star players that we have. We got Riley Green and Gleyber Torres on the team, rightfully so. They've had really good years. And your surprise candidate in Javi Baez as an outfielder, not an infielder. He has been an all-star now in 3 different positions. Second base, shortstop, and now in the outfield.
Nice.
So he has that under his belt as well. But the hip surgery has worked for Javi. He has played well, and honestly, he's been a key part of the team's success this year. It's how well he's played
Right.
and how well he's been at being versatile. But we'll end it here. If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, share the video around. Let me know what you think. Until next time, see everybody soon.